Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Middleware Technologies. Today we'll be looking at Ansible, which is a configuration management tool. Uh, we will be looking at how we can use Ansible, a configuration management tool, to manage Google Compute Engine instances. Okay. In this video, we'll try to spin up a GCP instance which we will be managing using the Ansible on a Linux machine. So we'll have a Linux machine wherein Ansible will be installing Ansible on it, and we'll be trying to manage the GCP instance which we have spin up using the GCP console. Okay, so let's get started. So this is a document that I'll be trying to follow to show you how we can use Ansible to manage a Linux machine. So basically, what is Ansible? Okay. So Ansible is a configuration management tool, but what exactly it does? So we, as a system admin, we have a lot of administrative tasks like patching, rebooting, or package management, like file system management. All these activities that we carry out on a day-to-day basis are carried out either manually on the system, Linux system, or there are some ad hoc scripts getting created which we use to manage the Linux system. But these are error prone and are not get complex as the number of systems that we manage gets increased. So in this situation, like Ansible will help us to manage a large number of Linux system with ease. So it is very easy to migrate our scripts which we have written to manage our instances or Linux machines to Ansible. So Ansible can be used to manage our Linux systems instead of using our standard scripts. Okay, so Ansible is purely written in Python. Okay, and Ansible it uses SSH protocol for managing the Linux instances. So it uses the OpenSSH package within the Linux system for communicating with the Linux machines which it is going to manage using the SSH protocol. Okay, so let's see how we can go ahead with this tutorial. So first step is installing the required dependencies. Okay, so as I said, like Ansible is purely written in Python, so we need to have the Python package installed on our Linux machine, which will be acting as a controller. Okay, and along with that, we'll install the PIP package and devel package, Python development package. So PIP package we are installing to basically install the Python packages which are provided. So here actually we will be installing the Ansible package which is provided using the Python PIP. Okay, so that is why we are installing Python PIP package. And next one is Python Devel, which is a development package used for Python. So it is a development package which we use to develop modules based on the Python and compile them. Okay. So let's see if I have all these packages installed on my system. Let me open my shell. So let's check if we have the Python package. Python package is usually installed by default on the system. So you'll have the Python package. We can check using the Python version command. So we have Python 3.8 already installed on my system. And now let me check Python PIP package. So I have already Python PIP package installed. If you do not have, you can use sudo dnf install Python PIP. So this is going to install the Python PIP package. Okay, but I already have it, so it shows it is already installed. The same is the case with Python devel package. This is also so let me try to install. I think I do not have this package, so let me try to install the Python development package. Okay, so Python 3 development package is already available. Okay, so all the dependencies which required are already installed on my system. So let's go ahead and see what we need to do in the next step. The next step is installing the Ansible using PIP. Uh, Basically, every Linux system has their own RPM package which provides Ansible. But here we are installing the Ansible using the PIP package. But as I said, it is provided by the package manager also, so we can install using the DNF tool. We can install the Ansible package. Okay, so let me show you how we can install using the PIP package here. So I have already installed it, but let me run it and show you how we can install it. So as you can see, it shows already satisfied all these Ansible packages that are available on my system along with the dependencies. And once the Ansible package is installed, you can verify whether it is installed correctly or not using the Ansible version, which will show the correct version that is installed on the system. So right now we have our Ansible installed along with the dependency. So next thing that we want to do is we want to manage Linux machine using the Ansible. So for this purpose, we will be spinning up a GCP instance that is a compute engine instance, and we will be using that we'll be managing that instance using the Ansible configuration management tool. Okay, so let me go into my GCP console. So right now I have many like compute engine instances running. So this is my uh, Google Kubernetes Engine cluster, which has 3 nodes, and there is one Ansible node I also have created. But let us try to create one more instance. Okay, so so we need to go into the VM instances, and here you can go to create instance. So let us name our instance as Ansible node 2. Let me name it as node 2. Let me keep all the other things as default. So I am creating it in the US Central region. So let me keep it as default. And the type of the machine is E2. E2. Let me see. It is E2 medium with 2 virtual CPUs and 4 GB RAM. Okay, and this let me change it to CentOS. the operating system which will be installed on the GCP instance, CentOS 8. Let me select it, and the boot disk is 20 GB in size. Okay, I'm giving all the defaults, and let me select it. Okay, now let me allow the traffic for HTTP and HTTPS if we want to install anything on the Linux node. So for that purpose, I'm just selecting these two checkbox, and let me create the instance. Okay, as you can see, it is spinning up my Ansible. Okay, so I think I have reached limit of 4 in a region. Let me try to create an instance in another region. So let me select US East, and US East 1B is the zone. Let me set it as default, and let me change the operating system to CentOS 8. With 20 GB boot disk. Let me select it and quickly spin up. So allow HTTP, HTTPS, and create the instance. Okay, as you can see, I am able to create this instance Ansible Node 2, and also you can notice like I have an external IP that I can use it to manage it remotely. Okay, so we'll be using this IP which is generated for this node, Ansible Node 2. And we'll be using this IP to manage using the Ansible configuration tool. Okay, so let me copy this to clipboard. Okay, so we have right now like created the compute engine instance, and we have got the IP, basically the external IP which we can use to manage it remotely. Let me note it down here. Okay, now what we need to do is basically to manage GCP instance remotely. We cannot directly log in using the SSH tool. So for that, we actually need to generate our public and private key with the user ID that we will be using to log in into the Linux node, GCP Linux machine. Okay, so for that purpose, so we need to run this SSH keygen command tool. So SSH keygen is the tool that Linux provides for us to generate the public and private key. So basically what this tool does is it will generate a RSA public private key with name GCP SSH appended, and this is the user with which it will be generating. Okay, so let me run it and show you what exactly happens. So I'm putting it as a default for everything. So as you can see, it creates GCP SSH related public and private key in the .ssh hidden folder. Okay, you can see these are the two files that got created, GCP SSH. This is the first one is the private key, and the second one is the public key. So this second second part, the public key, we need to copy it into the compute engine settings metadata section. So here you can go and copy your key, that is public key, and save it. Okay. So let me pause my video so that I can copy my okay, so we can copy okay, let me copy it here directly then. So going into the metadata, okay, now I have saved my private public key here. As you can see, this is the last entry. So you need to go into the metadata SSH keys and copy paste the .pub related content and create this entry. Okay, so once this entry is saved into the GCP compute engine metadata data section, you can try to SSH using your user ID. So in my case, my user ID is Sudhir Boga. Then at the rate the external IP address that we have saved here. Okay, so let me try to see if I'm able to SSH using the remote login. Okay, so yeah, so you can see like I'm currently logged in with my user ID on the Ansible node 2. So this is my GCP instance, that is CentOS 8 machine that we have spin up right now. So with this we can confirm like we are able to SSH into our GCP instance remotely. This is required actually because, as I said, Ansible is using the SSH protocol to communicate with the Linux machines or Linux instances that it is going to configure and manage. Okay, so let me disconnect from here. So right now I am on my local host. So basically, to manage instance or Linux machine using Ansible, we need to first create a inventory file which consists of the host name or IP address of the machine that we are going to manage. Okay, so let me show you what is there in my etc Ansible hosts file. So right now I have this is the group name that we can provide. So it is basically grouping a set of particular Linux instance into one type of servers. So let's say if you have a set of 4 or 5 servers related to the web server, you can group them into a group name called web or web server, anything you can do it. Okay, so it is basically grouping related type of servers into a particular set. Okay, so right now I have named my group as stack, and in that I have one GCP instance already available and my local machine IP. So let me add the uh, the Ansible node to host IP. Okay, I need to do it with sudo as it is owned with root user. So let me copy the Ansible node to external IP which got like assigned for the server. So let me save it. Now we have the Ansible node to IP available in the host file. So this is basically a type of inventory file that we need to update and create an update to manage our Linux instances. Okay. So the next thing that we'll be doing is we'll be managing the instance GCP instance using the Ansible tool. Okay. So as you can see, so let's see like what is the free memory available on our Linux node. Okay, so let me run this command which is used to get the free memory. So let me explain it. This is the Ansible command line tool. So this is used to run ad hoc commands on the remote machine, okay, which we are going to manage. And this is the group name the group name that I have provided in the inventory file. So this is whichever group name you are going to provide, you need to update here so that it will manage those specific nodes or machines. Okay, and this is the ad hoc command that we are going to run on that particular node. Okay, so right now I am trying to get the free memory from that machine, and this will be the user with which it is going to log in. Okay, so let me run it. Okay, you can just ignore the first thing. Basically, this is my machine, which is local machine, which is currently not reachable. But if you check the other two nodes, these are my two GCP machines which have spin up. So the IP address that we have updated right now for Ansible node 2, it is ending with 237. Okay, so this is the node which we have spin up just now, and this is the free memory that is available on this node. Okay, so this is how we can like manage our Linux instances using the Ansible tool. So right now I have shown you only the Ansible command line tool to run ad hoc commands onto the Linux machine, but we can create Ansible playbooks which contains multiple tasks in a particular order which will be executed, and these playbooks can be used to configure the Linux machine as per our requirement. So yeah, so that is all we wanted to see in this video, how we can use the Ansible tool to manage the Linux instances, and how we can use it to like query the Linux instances which we are managing. And this Ansible tool provides us with the Ansible playbook command line utility, which can be used to run the playbooks. Which contains a set of instructions for configuring our machine. Okay, so yeah, I hope you got something from this video, and yeah, we'll try to see something new in our next video. Until then, thank you all and have a good day.